This is BAIT, life outside the Federal Witness Protection Program. A very dangerous way to exist.
Skinhead, deadhead, everybody, gun bad, situation, aggravation, everybody, allegation, innocence on the news, everybody, dog food, bang bang, shot dead, everybody, gun bad. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
The scandal to steal my U.S. passport reloaded. Hey, it's Susan. Welcome to today's episode of War Crimes Unit. Hey, nice to see you. Hey, they're following the same pattern down here in Tucson, Arizona that they followed down in McAllen, Harlingen, Texas last year. The situation caused Border Patrol and I a hell of a lot of problems. And basically, you know, one of the big, of course, their murder is definitely high in their mind. But if they can't get that, they definitely want to steal my travel documents, like my U.S. passport. The FBI task force hates the fact that I have a U.S. passport. Well, the State Department and I, we haven't been very happy with the FBI for a really, really long time. See? So they would want to steal my U.S. passport. They would want to steal my identity documents. So they trapped me into the sex trafficking scandal down in Texas last year. And the next thing that was coming up was the guy was trying to get me to give him my identity documents. You see, I'll just hold on to this for you so you don't have to carry your purse around. So here's what they're doing again. They're jamming this again. So what they have done, they've worked in a pattern through Marysville, down through Imperial County, California, down through El Centro. We're trying to prevent me from getting a job so I would be near U.S. Border Patrol or Customs. See, they hate me being near U.S. Border Patrol and Customs. The FBI does hate that. This task force. So they work in a pattern to steer me out that way, scam me into San Diego County, and nail me in San Diego County, both in San Diego, Chula Vista, and San Ysidro. Okay. Make sure I don't have a nursing job there. Scam my job up in L.A. They were obviously getting pissed because I was going from L.A. into Mexico on my days off. See, they hate that. They hate that. And so, like, what they would try to do is, see, they want to scare me, right? And so they know in Tucson I would already be somewhat scared because Irma Tovar, another victim, a victim of crap, dude, the police brutality, human trafficking victim. She's already been assaulted here in Tucson, Arizona. She got assaulted, wound up in the emergency domestic violence shelter. Her son wound up in Mexico getting surgery. You see, so they make sure they scam me into the same district that's already has a history of being in some way, in some part, corrupt, enabling a gang or something like that. And so, you know what? So here's the thing. So here's what they would want me to do. Apparently, the emergency domestic violence shelter works with the local police. Okay, they work with the local police because I talked to them. They want me to call the victim services coordinator of the police department. The trouble is, here's the thing. My case is really, really high-end and sophisticated. It's way beyond a victim coordinator of a police department. Way beyond. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, sometimes I have not had trouble with the Tucson police myself. As of this date of this video, I have not. The trouble is I've had trouble with the police in the past, and I have to work with them in the emergency room too. So it's going to be very, very difficult. So I don't want to, you know, I'm hesitant to call them on the outside and to start the war zone on the outside when I got to work with them in the ER, you see. Okay, but what they'd want to do is they'd want to lock me, you see, and here's what they would do. If I called the police and I explained to them that I'm not going to have a place to live, and I explained this pattern of employment hacking and pattern of not getting paid, well, they'd be concerned for my safety. Okay, they'd be concerned for my safety, and then they would put me in that emerged domestic violence shelter. What could happen in that emerged domestic violence shelter? Well, I've had property theft in other domestic violence shelters. Not emerged before, but other ones, like Chrysalis up there in Phoenix. My iPod Touch got taken. They could also use and manipulate these people within the shelter for information. They did that up in Chrysalis big time. Okay, so they could do that also. You know, according to these domestic violence shelter laws, you cannot go and stay places overnight. So that would actually, if I stayed there, that could actually prohibit me from going to where I really want to be, which is Mexico, right? They could also try to steal my U.S. passport if I turn my back. Ultimately, they're after my U.S. passport, and if I don't comply, then I'm sure they're going to stick the assaulting jackasses after me. Let's see. So my situation is hella dangerous. But the big red flag is because my company won't pay for me to have a safe place to live, so that is highly, highly suggestive of the fact that they are actually working, somebody is working to have me get assaulted, steal my passport, and take me out. Today's episode of War Crimes Unit. Keep your stun gun or machine gun handy. There's real criminals and terrorists out there. And there's a lot of corrupt law enforcement and a lot of corrupt law enforcement that plea bargains kids for terrorism information. See you next time.